It's debatable here on MLBBro.com.
What's the deal, boys and girls? It is debatable for this week. I'm the MLB OG, Mark Gray. That is my boy, Manny Ramirez Brown. Manny, what is up?
What's going on, everybody? Not in the regular debatable studio. I'm on assignment, but still giving you the heat.
Well, I think the bottom is hit in St. Louis. And in the midst of things, after losing 20 of their first 29 games, they thought the better of it and sent Jordan Walker back to the minors. Does that make sense? Is that a good thing for the organization and development of that player?
The issue with the Cardinals to me is the hiring of Oliver Marmol. This is an organization that outsmarted itself. They had Mike Schill. And I'm not sitting here trying to make you think that Mike Schill is the second coming of, Casey Stengel or somebody. Exactly. Whitey Herzog or anybody like that. But Mike Schill was doing a good job with that team. That team won, 19 games in a row? And then they fired him after the fact in the postseason when they lost to a Dodgers team in a one-game playoff. I just never understood that firing. I don't understand the Oliver Marmol hiring. I never sat there and thought of anybody that said, yo, Oliver Marmol is the next second coming of Joe Torre. Hire him. He's a hot name. Why? Because he does what the front office wants him to do, because he's an analytics guy. Now look at you. You're wasting a team that has a pretty good roster. Issues aside, they have a pretty good roster, and they're being wasted because this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So listen, Jordan Walker is a symptom, but he's not even the biggest symptom. To me, the overall issue is that they've got a manager who's inept.
You can see behind those ugly eyes, it's about arbitration and keeping them under control for as long as possible.
That's another thing, yeah.
You never help. If you're a generational type talent, and we've heard the name like Michael Harris of the Braves, that was equated with this guy. If he's that type of player, plug him in. Harris goes from Double-A last year with the Braves to helping to be a vital cog and them winning the division. This is a team that made the playoffs, and you decide Mike Matheny is not good enough, and you're at the bottom of your division. Oh no, it's not Walker. Well, it's definitely
don't forget the
Marmol.
other thing about Marmol. Don't forget about the other Marmol, about the issue with Marmol. Also, another issue with Marmol is that he blew that wild card series against the Phillies. Remember, throwing that reliever out there who had just hurt himself a couple days prior, letting him stay too long. I mean, listen, let's just put it this way: Oliver Marmol has not distinguished himself as a big time manager.
Yeah, and I could think he could be the first to go before the end of the season. Okay.
Yeah, it's getting kind of ugly out there.
Speaking of treading into the danger zone, are the LA Dodgers rolling the dice by playing Mookie Betts on the infield at shortstop instead of keeping him in the outfield?
No, the Dodgers are a smart organization. They're into sports science and resting guys and getting guys the proper, nutrition, all that. Listen, the Dodgers know what they're doing. I don't think that they would tempt fate like that with Mookie Betts, their franchise player, if they felt that there was any risk of him getting himself hurt or hurt beyond a point where it hurts his career or hurts the team. Now, listen, can injuries happen? The dude can get out of the shower in the locker room and get himself hurt. We've seen crazier instances in baseball where guys have gotten hurt for weirder issues. There's always the threat of injury is what I'm saying. But do I think that the Dodgers are tempting fate? No, because I think the Dodgers know what they're doing. I think at the end of the day, they're not gonna put a guy out there and put a guy in a situation where he's gonna move around, rotate, if he's not gonna if he doesn't have the flexibility to do so, which I think we all believe Mookie can, and it's gonna be an injury situation or a concern where it might hurt him. So I don't think the Dodgers are tempting fate.
Look, I'm not questioning the decision because Mookie's an athlete. He played like 3 sports, and let him tell me during the All-Star game when it was in D.C., football was his first love, but his mom told him he wasn't big enough, and I think mama knows best. That being said, the athleticism and the ability to play on the infield, which is what he came up with, is a great decision. But pragmatically, over the last 2-3 years, we've seen a series of strange pulls by him being in the outfield, and they moved him to the outfield to keep him from getting injured as much. So to me, I don't question the decision. I question the tempting of fate. And again, that is the one energetic person in that lineup they can ill afford to lose.
Agreed.
Because somebody comes hard into picking up a double play.
But the bottom line is, you can get hurt in the outfield. You can get hurt being a DH. You can get hurt in the locker room. You can get hurt.
Yeah, but your prospects for getting hurt in the infield are a lot more dramatic than they are in the outfield. If you're going to use him as a utility guy, for me, get him his at-bats as a DH, keep him in an outfielder where every once in a while he has an opportunity to run into a wall, and then you protect him from the screaming line drives and the bulldozers coming down the base pass that might be looking to take him out.
MLBBro.com, covering black and brown major league.